Victor Cruz is in the house here on the Fan with Tiki and Tierney. Victor, what's going on?
What's good, man? What's going on, guys? Such a pleasure
All's
to
good,
be here
man.
with y'all.
Yeah. Likewise. Good to have you, man. So, as a running back, the only thing I ever wanted to do was go 99 yards. I got close. I went 95, but 99 was the record. It's like nobody can go more. Now Derrick Henry has it. 99-yard touchdowns against the Jets. I mean, it was a slant, right? It was something easy. They missed the tackle and you went to the house.
Yeah, it was like a 10-yard out. We run that, me and Eli within the offense, run that play a million times. Like, we perfected that hook route, and Eli just really trusted me with it. So he just threw it to me on the out, and I caught it, made a guy miss, and was up the sideline. Every time I watch it, I get goosebumps because I'm just like, I don't know how I did that. I still really don't understand it. But.
Did you think you were going to get caught? I guess that's the one thing when you're going 99 or even longer, whatever it is, 90 plus. It's like, dude, am I going to get caught? Because that's embarrassing.
No, I mean, yeah, you think about it, but listen, I'm from Paterson, New Jersey. My mother was in the stands. My people are there. I can't get caught in front of them. I'm never going to live that one down. Never going to live that one down. So
that's iconic. Put it in high gear. That's iconic, Victor. That's iconic. One of the iconic plays in Giant history, obviously.
Oh, no. Who was chasing you, by the way? I'm trying to remember who was tailing you.
It was Cromartie was the corner out there.
Yep.
And then the safety was – who was the safety? I forget the safety.
But it was
Eric Smith.
Oh.
Eric Smith.
Oh, yeah, Eric Smith. Yeah, I remember. He was the one who basically busted up what's-his-name's face? Anquan Bolden. Remember in the back of the end zone against the Cardinals? Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
All right, so Victor, first of all, I'm assuming that you and OBJ are still boys, right? Or I mean, you got to be rooting for him to go bonkers this weekend.
I can't. I'm so happy for him, man. I'm happy he just gets this opportunity to play in this game. It's unlike any other thing that he could ever play, in any game in his entire career. So I'm just happy for him. Definitely rooting for the Rams. I'm rooting for them to win for sure.
Do you think that because listen, when a fan base that invests so much energy towards someone, and Giant fans love this kid. I mean, why would you not? And then what went down, I think a lot of people were culpable, including Tom Coughlin, who let him get away with some nonsense early and never really put his foot down, and then it was just out of control. Do you think that the majority of Giant fans are rooting for Beckham, or how do you think they process his Super Bowl?
I think they are. I think they understand, like, things happen, and it's always a business, and there's always going to be business moves, whether good or bad, that as a fan you just got to live with. That this, decision making from front office to coaches to game day, like, there's always going to be things that you're not happy about as a fan, and you just have to live with some of that. And I do think Giants fans are rooting for him. I posted them when they won, and all the comments were positive. Yeah. Everyone's just really positive about it. So I think that ship has sailed for Giants fans, and I think they just kind of want to see him do well now.
Yeah, Victor, tell us about. I've talked to not Victor. Obviously, I've talked to you. I've talked to Odell a couple of times because I did a game. I did 2 Giants games with Rondé when he was at Fox, and we did the Giants, and so we had production meeting with OBJ, and I was taken aback at how, like, cerebral he is. You know what I mean? People just assume that he's this bombastic, loud, I just want to party type of guy, but he's actually the complete opposite. As a teammate, you saw that intimately, and I think all of you as teammates, you kind of appreciated how good he was. It took him some time to grow up, but where do you think he is in his career as a person, as an athlete, as a guy chasing a championship?
I think he's, from the beginning all the way to now to where he is today, I've just seen him grow so much. You come into the league, you're a first-round pick, you're excited, you kind of wait a couple weeks to get your turn, but you come out and you make a splash and you become this guy. I mean, that's not an easy thing for any kid to handle, for any person coming out of college to handle, period, regardless of how you feel about how he handled those things throughout his early part of his career. But I'll tell you what, man, going through what he went through in Cleveland, I think really helped him understand the business of football, helped him understand what he needs to do to be successful at this game. And I think his transition over to L.A. has been seamless because he's matured.
Yep.
And he understands exactly how to play the game of football, both on the field and off the field too. And we haven't heard his name outside of the game. He's just sticking to football, smiling. He has a child on the way. Like, he's just grown so much throughout these years. It's been really fun to watch.
Yep, we all mature at different speeds. I've said that many times. We're talking to Victor Cruz. I'm still waiting to mature myself. It hasn't really hit yet. Victor Cruz. Victor's with us here, Super Bowl champ, made a Pro Bowl, and was really the dance and the energy. It was pretty wild, man. It was cool to see. So the energy of the Giants now, listen, they haven't coached a game. Dable and Shane hasn't made a real meaningful transaction yet. Eventually, people will start judging the results, but it feels different. It feels like a much-needed change. The short-term direction of the Giants, as a former player, are you fully in with the moves that they made? What do you think about the offseason so far?
Yeah, I think so far so good. I think I like Daboll and kind of what he brings to the table, and I see kind of at least the Giants front office kind of envisioning what he can do, what he's already done for Josh Allen's career, and what he can do for Daniel Jones. And as we all know, this is the last shot for Daniel. Like, this is this year, this is where you find out what he has. You want to put the best tools in front of him. You want to put the best coaches in front of him to bring out the type of talent that you believe he is, that you believe he was when you drafted him. So this is the year for him. So they want to surround him with the proper tools. And I think Coach Daboll is the first part of that, to kind of get that offense in a place where we can score points and be competitive and put something better out there on the field than we have in the past couple of years.
Yeah, no, and I think I don't hate the roster. I don't love it. I think there's some things that need to work, but specifically the skill position players, and Saquon's one of these, but the receiving core, there's some talent there. Do you like the skill position guys? You just talked about putting talent around Daniel Jones. Do you like what the Giants currently possess, or is there still work that needs to be done?
I think I like what they have. I like Kadarius Toney. I think he's quick. He's lightning in the bottle. He brings energy. I love Galladay, obviously. Like, he's the leader of the pack, the guy that kind of makes those big plays when you need them.
Really?
But we just got to keep those guys healthy. I'm not saying he has.
Okay.
He's paid to do.
Yeah.
That's what he's brought. That's what he was brought in to do. So on paper, like, I like what I see. But in terms of production, in terms of just staying on the field and staying healthy, in terms of just, all of those things, those have been tumultuous throughout the years. Like, we've barely been able to put some receivers out there certain weeks. You know what I mean? So, and I think Darius Slayton has kind of taken a step back in his progression in terms of him trying to turn the corner and becoming better and kind of settling into the role here in the Giants. I think he took a step back at some drops. But I think they can fix that. They have Sterling Shepard. They have guys that they can lean on to kind of bring it all full circle. But they have the talent in that room. It's just a matter of creating an offense to get those guys the ball, and to, once those guys have the ball in their hands early, they can make some things happen.
Yeah. I was going to talk to Victor Cruz with us here on the fan, Tiki and Tierney, and I know you've been, away from the game now for a couple of years and transitioning to the next phase of your life, but you still had a couple guys in that locker room that you knew that were with Joe Judge. I mean, if the Giants, and I just asked you about Daboll and Shane, but I am curious your thoughts on this. If the Giants didn't react to the loud public sentiment that Judge had to go, and let's not get it twisted, that's why they fired Joe Judge. They heard everybody yelling, and they reacted to that, and they had to. But would the team have been able to function? Was there a division from Joe, or because we know it's been said, but what was the reality of the locker room's belief and conviction in their former head coach?
I'm going to be honest, man. I think there were a lot of guys that were in his favor. I think they obviously he had a hard-nosed approach, but it's football. You know what I mean? Like, this is what it's about. Like, we're asking a lot out of you as young men to be great and to be your best selves, which will help translate not only on the football field but in your life. So that's not always going to be an easy thing to do. So, yes, he was hard-nosed, but did the players love him? Did they enjoy him? Did they have positive things to say about him? Absolutely. I heard nothing but good things that they said about Coach Judge and how he ran the team and kind of how he handled his business within those walls. I just think they fell short from an execution from a football perspective. I just think some of the things that we were seeing, and honestly, some things, it just didn't even look like they had a passion out there sometimes. And that directly goes back to the head coach. If you're not getting your guys ready to play, to be somewhat competitive out there, it goes back to the coach. And I think that's where they landed.
Especially without some previous success that gives you the benefit of the doubt. There's no way you're gonna survive that. Hey, Vic, you're brought to us here by Captain Morgan, and this is really interesting what you're working on with Captain Morgan, because you're here with the Captain Morgan, not here literally, because I think you're in L.A. You're on Radio Row, but the Captain Morgan Super Bowl Punch Bowl is what you're talking about. It's great for cocktails, I'm assuming. Tell us more about what you're working on with Captain Morgan.
Yeah, man, the Super Bowl Punch Bowl, it's just probably an unnecessary thing, but extremely necessary, right? Like, You need it. It looks super cool. It fits 4 gallons of fluid in there. There's a Bluetooth speaker on the bottom of it.
4 gallons?
Actually,
wow.
Yeah, 4 gallons, whatever you need. You can have people drinking from it all night long. You know what I mean? So, and the Bluetooth speaker actually serves as like kind of a mix of the drink. When it vibrates, it kind of mixes your drink while it's in there, and it just has cool. It's a nice little laser show around the bowl as well. It's just a fun way to enjoy the Super Bowl. There's a scoreboard on it, so it's keeping the score.
Man, we're getting fancy up in here, Vic. We're getting fancy.
Technology is a real thing right now.
Oh my God! All right, so that's pretty wild. I'm going to actually jot down your answer. All right, I'm going to put it on a piece of paper, and then in our desk, once we get a desk, and hopefully once we get an office here at the Fan, I'll keep it in the desk in that office, and I'm going to look back in 3 years and see if you were right or wrong. In 3 years, Daniel Jones will be the quarterback of the Giants. Yes or no, according to Victor?
Man, don't do me like that.
I got to do it, bro.
This is how we're closing the show.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna say yes. I have some belief in Dayball, and they can put it together and get this offense rolling and get Daniel Jones in a position to be successful. So I'm gonna say yes, man. I'm gonna be optimistic here.
Yes. Okay. I got you. Now, listen, without divulging the place, I saw you a couple times on the driving range taking a lesson, and I didn't want to bother you, but maybe we'll get out and hit them around this year.
I would love that, man. You can help me with my swing. I need the work.
Well, you bring the rum, and I'll help you with anything. All right, Vic. Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate you, Victor.
Thanks, guys.
Have fun out in L.A., man.
Thank you.